Morning, everybody. Welcome to Lockpod Live from Powering Indiana Studios.
Wow.
That's a mouthful.
Season 11.
Yeah, new studio.
The debut.
We got a sign.
Virgin Studio.
Yeah, it's nice.
Ew.
Hey, Lindsay.
Oh, Lindsay. Notorious LMP in the house.
Hi.
It should be like a copywritten.
Like a trademark? Yeah. Oh, that.
Trademark, yeah.
And LMP. Yeah.
Yes.
Just like throw it at the end of things. when
What's
I'm
up?
here.
Welcome back.
Hello.
Here we are.
Does it sound the same?
I think it does. We
John?
need some...
Sorry, I'm just monitoring everything.
How are we?
All
Everybody
right.
can hear
Season
us?
11 in the new
Everything's falling
studio.
apart back here, but
I
we're
hope
doing
everyone can hear us. Can you hear us, chat?
I hope so.
Like, where are we? Can't hear you.
Everything looks good on my end. But, we have moved into a new space, so there's a lot of running new cables and all that.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
it
We
looks
discovered that these lights, they flicker on the camera sometimes, so John had to figure out how to fix that thing.
Really?
That's not fixed.
How about this sign?
Oh, it's not fixed.
No,
We
the
just looked
sign
funny.
flickers. The light flickers.
Oh, it's the sign that's... I thought it was the overhead
The sign
lights.
is nice.
Thank you. By the way, thank you
It
to
is
Power in
very
Indiana
nice.
Lake County for our studio sponsorship and great job on the sign by Misprint and Rick Baltonsberger.
It's really
He was in
cool.
here yesterday
It's
installing.
super cool. It like totally sticks out.
I think the exciting part about it is that we're going to call it like the locomotive's mood ring.
Yeah?
John,
Why is
you want to
that?
like let's show this baby
there's
off.
this remote here.
Like, so let's say you come in
Does it
like
feel
really
a little
hot
spicy?
and
It happens.
you're pissed.
It happens.
It does happen, John.
It's part
Can
of
we
his job.
Can we? Oh,
Okay.
Oh,
blue.
that's
So
bright
No,
that
that
orange.
he's
mean?
pissed. What color? There we go.
Oh, it's orange.
Like angry Tom.
I like it.
Red doesn't really show up that well in the camera.
Let me
though.
see.
There's
Yeah,
yeah,
it
no,
does,
that's
it does
bad.
show up. Yeah. Is it?
Green.
Whoa.
Okay.
Ooh, that's nice.
That's pretty cool. So what does green mean? Red, definitely. So we click it on red whenever it's time to go dark.
Yeah.
Right.
With Tom's pissed, you'll see Tom will be going off and John will just click it. To
I like it,
red.
man. That's cool looking.
Yeah, good
Thank
job.
you to
by-
Powering Indiana for sponsoring Lockpod for the entire year.
Yeah, it was really nice of him. And then we, of course, I was thinking maybe chat. We had to, during the move, Kyle and Steve and John, thank you to those guys for getting this move done. They had to load everything up that was on the table. And I know that it's in boxes. So if there's something you really miss on the table, we've got a little bit of room here. And then, as John promised in season 4, the shelves are going to go up.
Yeah. Right. Can't wait for those shelves. Yeah, we never talked about that before, huh?
We're thinking about it. Yeah.
This is a nice room. It's definitely bigger than the last studio.
I think, we got rid of the closet space. So we have a little room, more room behind John.
Well,
Yeah.
and we don't have to make all of our guests like squeeze past the corner.
Right,
and,
that's true.
and the corner of the table.
Yes,
And
you're
then
right.
not just that, if COVID ever comes back, this is a way better room to be in. Like way more space for our COVID germs.
We had. That's true. Also,
We were literally in the closet before.
It was tight.
You were in the closet with me.
That's right.
hard to
And now
say.
we're out of the closet together.
Aw,
We're out of the closet.
I'm proud of you
There
guys.
it is. Thank you, Lynn.
That's our season episode. That's our
That's our title.
episode.
We're out of the
Tom and
closet.
Kevin out of the closet.
Well, and also John talked about, depending on how the sound is, he was going to add some sound panels and stuff. So we'll leave that up to John.
I was expecting to see sound panels. I mean,
Expanded green room too.
Oh yeah.
They have a TV. They can watch Lockpod from in there.
No way.
Yes,
It's cool. It's a nice studio. Congratulations to Smith Sursick for taking the leap.
Thank you. Thank you to
Owning
Lockpod
property.
for coming with us.
Owning property. Thanks for housing Lockpod.
You're welcome.
Do
No
we actually
longer
have to
paying
pay-
rent.
We have to pay rent now?
Well, Lockpod does now because
Does it?
my nut went up. Like it went up
Really?
way big
Your
for
nut
my
went
month.
up.
It's
Well,
all
you know,
right.
the
It's
monthly.
like-
That's disgusting.
That's
I'm sorry.
weird.
The monthly bill went up.
Really?
Yes, now that we're owners and not renters.
So Lockpod's paying that now? That's some bullshit.
It's a small
I
amount.
didn't get the goddamn memo on that. Aren't we a LLC?
I didn't get the memo on the new address until yesterday.
Yeah, Lindsay's like, I'm not showing up. It's
Lindsay's
I was
it's
like, if you
across
guys
the
don't
street.
get back to me, I'm just gonna not be there.
During the day, Lindsay
the
kept
old-
saying, "What's the new address?" and nobody responded.
It
And
was
finally,
like-
last night, we were like, "Oh shit, we got to tell her the new address."
She's like, I am not showing up to the show unless you guys tell me that.
"Sorry, Lindsay."
I'm not gonna try and psychically figure out where you guys are, ever. So
Well, we did put the boxing mayor up just as a. We knew that was.
Yeah, we
gonna
had
have
to get our
come
shit
up.
the
back.
tea bag
Got to
off
get our
of
shit
it.
up. Yeah, got more stuff to put up here. I got to make
Took
sure I
the
get
tea
my
bag off.
pocket Constitution needs to come back. That's coming.
Yeah.
So we'll be ready to go.
Hey, I wanted to start off. We had a tough break in a couple instances. We had fans and friends of the show pass away while we were gone, which is a horrible thing over the holidays. Horrible thing anytime. So I did want to reach out and let Janet Vanez. Phil was a fan of the show. Listened to every episode. This is probably one of the first episodes Phil is not going to listen to.
That's right.
He passed away a couple weeks ago. We had the funeral just a few days ago, actually. It happened over the holidays, so I wanted to let Janet know. She's one of my bosses. She's a councilwoman on the city of Hammond. Her and Phil were married for a long time. And
Phil was with you from the beginning.
Yeah,
in
he was
03.
one of the original guys. I spoke at his funeral the other day, talked about
nice.
that, talked about his generation and the people that helped us originally, like all the older dudes that are no longer with us.
Yeah, there's a big list of those folks that.
Besides Phil, you got Dennis Hardesty,
Jim Callahan, Phil, Pat Moore.
Yep.
And the list goes on and on.
Like all these guys that were about my age when I got started, now they're dying. So I got like 20 years.
20 good years left.
Enjoy me.
I thought one of the really cute things that Janet had in Phil's obituary was Phil participated in several losing campaigns before being part of Team McDermott in 2003, which he thoroughly enjoyed and blah, blah, blah. So that was really
his
cool.
Team McDermott original denim shirt. Remember those?
Yes.
He had it hanging in the funeral.
Oh.
Yeah, it was nice.
Yeah.
And then
miss Phil.
And then for those of you that are fans of The Mailman, he's one of my favorite authors. He's also one of my bosses, David Warple. He's the councilman of Hammond's 5th District. Him and his wife, Tina, tragically lost their son the other day. And Jim, I don't think he was 40. He was probably right around 40.
I would think if that, Jimmy, I
tragically passed away
a
couple days ago. We still have, we're in the process of, I'm sure, learning when the funeral is going to be. But, Dave obviously has been a guest on the show multiple times. Dave and Tina are listeners to the show as well. So Lockpod family suffered a couple losses during the break. So I wanted to let Dave and Tina know we're thinking about them during these tough times, and let Councilwoman Janet know we're thinking about her during these tough times, and we're going to miss Phil, and we're going to miss Jimmy a lot. So I did want to start off season 11 on a somber note and let everybody know that, we do follow our fans and their family, and it's really sad what happened. So
it is, condolences definitely from Lockpod and from all of us to Janet, Dave, and Tina.
Yeah.
And families.
So thanks for putting this all together, John.
You're welcome.
It looks nice.
John, give me some commentary about the move. Outside of the fact that you left the tables downstairs and made me carry those up, but
that's an unfair remark.
You know what I'm going to do? I want to go through and get like our famous guests, get pictures.
Yeah.
Hang them on the wall.
Oh, wow. Like the pump room.
Yeah.
The pump room in Chicago. Like,
I don't know. I didn't know what you were talking about. I just said, yeah. Like the pump room. I'm like, yes. Exactly.
They had pictures of all the people that came to the restaurant.
I think that's a good idea, right?
Yeah.
Sure.
Like, especially like we'll have Mayor Joe, of course.
Yes.
Our famous ones.
Without a doubt.
Our famous guys for sure. Right?
These walls don't have any nail holes right now.
Remember what good guests have we had?
We've had many. Every one of our guests is a good guest.
I agree. How about one of my favorite episodes? Going back, like rehashing, was when we had the Cowman. Remember we had him in the studio?
Wait, who? The Cowman. Yeah.
He's like a nationally
Man
syndicated.
Cow.
No,
Yes.
It's the Cowman, right? Isn't that
Man Cow.
No,
Man-Cow's a
We're
DJ.
talking. He's a finance guy.
Oh,
Yeah.
Lives in
other guy.
Lives in
Why
Porter
is that your
County.
Another
favorite?
cow guy.
Why is that your favorite?
I don't know why I thought of it, but like, so he comes on. He literally, Lindsay, he wears like a coat that's spotted like a cow.
like
That's
a
his
dairy
that's
cow.
his thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I
and
think
so
I
he gets
was
on
here
TV.
for that. It's just
What do they
so-
call
You
those?
probably were.
It feels so
Holsteins.
long ago.
Because like he gets on CNBC and all that, and he wears
Yeah.
the cow outfit, right? So everybody knows him as the cow guy, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then we had him as a guest for one of our
Oh
shows.
no, that's when Kevin got COVID.
And
And
Kevin
then we had
exposed
to
him
like
to
let him
COVID.
know, and we're like, "Hey, by the way,
Tom
you're
calls me.
sitting
He's like,
next to-
"What should we do?" I was like,
We
"Could you
barely
call
know him. We barely know him, right?
I know.
And then Kevin was like hostile because Kevin.
I wasn't hostile.
You were like,
I was. I mean, we had a little bit of fun.
Yeah. You were
Yeah.
a little like because his politics and
Politically,
your
we're
politics,
different. Sure.
His
sure.
politics and your politics are antagonistic.
I thought we had a good little debate back and forth.
You did.
So, yeah.
So he leaves. Kevin calls me that night. Hey man, I got COVID. And this is during COVID. Like this is
This
when
is pre-vaccine,
dude,
pre-everything.
This is like, oh shit, you're gonna die, dude.
yes,
right?
yes.
So I'm like, you got to call Cowman. You were sitting right next to him, and Kevin's like, I'm not calling him, dude. You got to
I was
call
like,
him.
could you
It's your
please
guest.
call him? I feel
I'm like,
terrible.
Shit. So I'm like, hey, Cowman, what's up? Yeah, good job today. It was a great show. Yeah. By the way, Kevin's got COVID. Take care. I'll talk to you later, right?
Well, I mean, you guys had a special. Remember, it was like a breaking episode. Kevin has COVID, and then
Kevin's
you guys
got the
called
vid.
me. Yeah, Kevin's got the vid. That was great. I love when
we
my
had
private
to do
health
like
conditions make it on the air.
I got a call and they were like, "We're going on live like right now."
It was breaking news. We had to tell the world Kevin ain't gonna make it.
Yeah,
He's gonna die.
Lockpod's down to 3.
Oh, we'd have Phil pop in or Johnny.
So we gotta have pictures of our famous guests, and
Okay.
everyone should have a story like the Cowman,
Yeah, there's many stories of guests coming in here. That's for sure.
right?
I'm trying to think who you chugged the beer with. Was that just Steve, or was that the? I don't remember who that was.
See,
but yeah.
now we're gonna have to go through and like,
There's a lot of them.
mm-hmm.
Many guests.
Okay, I'm in. I'm gonna. I'll
John,
start
now
that.
you've got another job. Shelves,
No, I'll do that. I'll do that one.
Shelves and photos.
I'll do that one. I'll get the stills, and then I'll just give it to Rick, and then Rick could do.
Oh,
we're
like
gonna hang.
yeah,
It'd be cool. Like we don't want to, but we like fill it up so when people come in, they're like, "Wow, I'm not the only person that's ever appeared on Lockpod." It's like instilling them.
usually
This is a
think.
real show. We have
Yeah.
real guests.
Yes.
We've had famous. We've had
authors, a general,
a ambassador.
and
Bigfoot
we had an
enthusiast?
ambassador.
Yes, we had an ambassador. What's the matter with you?
Donnelly.
Yes. Thank
Oh,
you.
absolutely.
We had ambassadors. We had senators,
Yeah.
congressmen,
Right.
mayors. Dude, this is a show.
You're
This is
right.
a show.
Damn, I can forget.
Like this ain't some bullshit.
I forget how many famous people we've had in here.
We've had a lot of famous people.
All right, good idea.
I miss our audience. So it's weird when we go off the air. Like first off, I hardly even see you guys when we go off the air, and we say this every time. But John, I don't think I've seen you in like a month. And we work like one office away from each other.
The day we went off the air, we all went to a concert together. That was the last time we saw you.
Yeah, that's right. We did that night.
Oh, that was fun.
Almost dead.
It's been nice, hasn't it?
Well, you know,
been a
honestly,
good break.
I think that part of our magic is we get the fuck away from each other when we're off the air.
Take a break.
Because, like, honestly, it's like a marriage after a while. We're
Yeah.
like,
I
dude,
can't escape my father.
That's true. You just
do
spend the
pretty
holidays
good.
with
You do
him.
pretty good.
He's my
I
dad.
had a kids trip. I took the kids skiing, and Lindsay skipped.
how'd it go,
She
Linz?
avoided her father.
Dad did not invite me. It was a
Maybe it
boys'
sounds like a
trip.
boys' trip.
It was no. Honestly, I wanted Lindsay to go. Lindsay's not a skier though. I mean,
Yeah, I
unfortunately,
don't ski. Well, I snowboard.
you
You can
did.
hang up there. You can just
That's a
hang
great.
out.
I know.
It's a great place to learn, babe. It really is.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah. Cool.
Well, good. Oh, hey, by the way, I saw something that's coming up on your calendar. Congratulations on being inducted into the Purdue Northwest Alumni Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
That
Hey,
happened
that's
where
my
we were gone.
school.
There's a lot of famous
Thanks,
people in
Linz.
that. I was looking at the list.
Is it
I was pretty impressed.
really?
Yeah,
I
I
gotta
don't
check
have
it
it in
out.
front of me.
I
but
didn't know. I didn't check out.
We'll
the
get-
list.
we'll get to
I'll
that.
probably- It's really cool. I mean, honestly, it's a huge honor.
Yeah.
I went to college right out of. I wasn't a traditional student, so I'd be interested to see which were the traditional students and which were the night students like me. But I was a night student, and it's really an honor to be in the Hall of Fame for the college that changed my life. So, because when I got out of the Navy, I needed a college. Purdue was there. I needed to go to night school because I had a job. Purdue was there. I had a little girl and a little boy. I had to work.
just out of the Navy.
Just out of the Navy, so I worked full time at Purdue, at NIPSCO during the day, and at nighttime I went to college, and I did that for 3 years straight.
I think it's an awesome story. I think it also just goes to show you that, you know, the colleges, I don't want to call it a community college because, I mean, Purdue Northwest is a true university.
It is
Damn
now. When
It
I
is,
was
but
there,
when you were there, right, it was more like a, I don't want to, it wasn't like a
it was
community.
a 4-year degree, but
Yeah,
like
absolutely.
you could almost. I mean, I would be interested to see who got shot down from Purdue when I went.
There were a lot of commuters, right? People
Yeah.
that didn't live.
I think you could have gotten D's and C's and probably stayed at Purdue back when I was there. And then, but now Purdue is a lot more like a 4-year university, a lot more than when I went. But I'm not saying that. I mean, I was a great student. I had 3 B's in college.
Well, I think that's what
3.
I was getting at is that, like,
The
I
rest were
think
C's and D's.
The great story of you is that you went. Think about this: Navy, right? Like you've said this story before. Crappy high school student.
Yeah.
Navy set you straight.
Uh huh.
You know, you got 2 little kids. You start going to college under the GI Bill, which is awesome
Yeah.
for veterans, right?
Uh-huh.
And then you get into Notre Dame Law School.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like this is. I mean,
They met
Notre
my
Dame Law
wife.
School is top 25 in the country, top 20 in the country. I mean, it just goes to show you that, you know, you don't have to go to a Harvard or Yale to get into a great law school.
Yeah.
You can just do well in college wherever you're at and go.
I did really well in college, and then I had an average LSAT score, but I had a great story to tell.
Yep.
My story was
And you said that you're not a traditional student. Like you went
Right.
into law. Like, you know, think
I
of
was
me.
a night
I went from high school to college to law school. I graduated law
which
school
is
when I
how
was 25.
which is how most people did.
Probably right.
That's
And then
what Mercer did. That's what Chase did. That's what most of the people I know did.
and you're getting to law school at age 24, probably age
Law
20.
school?
I'm sorry, 27.
28.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
was
so
old.
Yeah, I mean, and there aren't a lot of
I was
people
the
in
old
law
guy.
school like that.
No, I was the old guy, especially at Notre Dame, which is a traditional law school. So most of the people I went to school with were right out of college.
Yeah, so it's really awesome. Congratulations on
it's super
PNW.
cool.
Very cool.
Thanks to Chancellor Keon, who's in his final years, Chancellor Purdue, for nominating me for this award. It was really nice. I appreciate it very much, Chancellor. It's super cool. I won't let you guys down. So
Beautiful.
I feel a lot of pressure now, dude. I can't screw up if I'm Hall of Fame for a school. Wouldn't it be embarrassing if I did something and then they had to
Then they
like,
take you out of the
revoke
Hall
it?
of
They're
Fame.
like, hey, we're gonna have a big
There's a big empty spot
a
here.
revocation ceremony.
No,
for
they won't.
revoking.
No revocation ceremony.
This
They'll
is
just
where
take it
Mayor
down.
Tom used to be.
It's like it's like the different colored paint. It's like brighter paint because yeah.
See,
What did you do, Kevin, over break?
did a lot. I mean,
A move to his
focused on the move.
office.
Yeah, move the office was the big thing. The other thing, not so exciting thing I did on Christmas night, I got to leave my mom and dad's with Charlie down to drive to Bloomington to get him ready for a surgery at 6 a.m. on the 26th. So I got to spend the Christmas night in a hotel. But
You
that
drove
was
to Bloomington to get an operation?
for Charlie. Charlie had an operation on his foot. Yeah, and it was weird because
Was
like
he playing for the basketball team or
I
something?
wish he was.
Yeah.
That'd be exciting. But he needed it. He's been in a lot of pain for a year. It was a soccer injury. So
He had the same kind of thing you and I have, right?
no, it was a cyst that they had to remove in his
no
near his
plantar
Achilles. So
fasciitis.
no,
Kevin and I even get similar injuries.
yes.
Because they are in the
Similar-
closet together.
We
They're
are
out of
in the closet. We are pounding our feet against each other
Oh boy,
Yeah.
yikes.
in the closet.
Hey, I want our chat if we can. If you got stuff that we used to have in our studio that you really like, tell us what it is. But we're gonna put it back up soon enough.
Hey, Jay Vaz, what'd you do for a break? Did you
Nothing,
you
nothing
traveled, right?
memorable. No,
I thought you did.
I don't think so. Did
Yeah?
I don't think so.
Move the studio.
Move the studio. It was like New Year's Day. Kevin's like, hey, man, you want to come up here? I'm like, no.
Not just that. Kevin's like, hey, you want to move the studio? John gets here.
No.
And he's like moving books and shit into the other offices, right?
Hey, John, you wouldn't mind carrying a couple of these boxes, would
Dude,
you?
I saved this huge piece of furniture for you because I can't do it myself, right?
The tables were brutal. We got them
Yeah.
out of the old studio pretty nicely with Steve and Kyle. Thank you both.
Awesome.
And then we got here, and they wouldn't fit in the elevator. These tables are massive.
They
They're
look-
heavy.
They look really sturdy.
Yeah.
You
And
did a good job.
that's where we kind of left them in the stairwell. And we were like, hey, Kevin, we got to get more men to help get these up the stairs.
You guys didn't call me.
I took care of it.
You guys didn't call me. Usually that's when the bat signal goes out.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, we had a friend of ours, Phil G, helped
Yeah.
me get him up.
Before
Phil
I knew
G.
it, Kevin's like, they're up.
Yeah,
I guess
Phil
you had
G
to
is-
disassemble them? Is that right?
it was disassembled with a drill bit that I've never seen before, and a bunch of tools that I don't have in my
But they just had
toolbox.
to take off one set of legs, right? Just to
both
get it.
sets, and
Oh,
then
wow.
and take apart the middle,
Oh
and
my
then carry
God.
him up the stairs.
Oh,
You gotta
So,
be shitting.
we
Wow.
did it though. It really didn't take long, but
I'm glad I missed all that.
I didn't even think about calling you.
Thank you. That's cool.
Dad's like, thank God.
Yeah.
it all just kind of sucked because like the day we moved, it was raining. It was just terrible.
Yeah, it was. But we're here.
We
What's
are
up?
here.
What's up, Lens? What'd you do?
I worked full time.
You do. You work. Like it's hard to even get on Lindsay's calendar. We're like, hey, we're having a family dinner. She's like, I'm working.
Well, it's
Wow.
I work evenings, so that makes it much more complicated because the family likes to do stuff together in the evenings.
Yeah.
If I were working days, it'd be a little.
We're
different,
weird
I
like
think.
that.
Yeah, I know.
We like to have dinner.
We're
at
night
dinner
owls.
time. No, so Lindsay has multiple jobs though.
During this the break, I only worked at the stroke rehab, and strokes don't stop for Christmas. So
So you work at
we're-
stroke rehab. You're
Yep.
my treasurer for the campaign.
Yep, and I'm a tutor.
A tutor at
and-
Purdue. And a Lockpod personality.
Yeah,
I mean, Linz, what about?
and a student.
I was going to say, with school, how close are you to being done?
I'm
Because
going
I
to
feel
graduate
like,
in May.
and then
And-
you're going to
and
be.
She's doing really well, by
a
the way.
nurse.
I
Right?
got
Sure.
all A's last semester.
Look at you.
What's your GPA in nursing school?
Oh, in nursing school?
She's like, don't ask me about college. Nursing
No,
school.
don't ask her about college.
No, don't ask. I'm still fighting that from the last time I went to school. But my nursing school GPA is like a 3.8.
Look at you.
So
Isn't that
At
crazy?
Purdue, right? At
Yeah,
Purdue Northwest.
Purdue Northwest.
Speaking
yeah.
of,
Yeah. And that's why she's a tutor there. She's like former teacher, then she goes to
I'll
nursing
use
school.
my powers for good.
are you going to get something like that? My dad's at the Hall of Fame, or my dad's in the PNW
Ooh.
Hall of Fame, like something you
I'm
can
gonna get her
wear,
a
like
shirt.
a medal.
That's a good idea.
I'll
she
wear
could
the
wear it
shirt
during
to
the ceremony.
graduation.
Just a
Yeah.
picture of me on top of your head, right? Like
Sure.
you know how they what do they call those things?
Mortarboard.
Yeah, just a picture of me, like
Yeah.
Hall of Fame 24.
Oh, like people put like their pictures
Yeah,
of this
of
or
course.
cute little things, but it'll just be you,
Dad. Yeah,
Dad.
Thanks,
Hall
Dad.
of Fame.
That sounds
HOF
awful.
24.
Hall of Fame 24. Best dad ever. You know, something. I'll design it. You just wear it.
Oh
okay?
yeah. Well, I did tell the school that I wasn't going to my graduation. I've already done that. So
Man, you're one of those.
Really?
No
I'm too
graduation.
cool. I'm too cool.
Too cool for
we'll
school?
still have the pinning ceremony. All the nursing students get their own separate little
Oh, that's nice.
ceremony. So I'll be there.
Oh, you're saying you're not going to walk and get your diploma?
No, I've already done that before.
Okay.
Okay.
Whoa.
I think the Hall of Famers saying no, that's not acceptable.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
I mean, it's going to screw
Is
up
that
my
okay
whole
if I call you a Hall of
storyboard.
Famer?
Yeah, I like that. HOF, McDermott.
HOF 24.
I am a Hall of Famer.
That's it.
I was just the reason why I decided that is because I thought they might make Dad the speaker when I graduate, and I would think that would be weird.
No.
No, they haven't
I spoke-
contacted you about that.
No, I spoke a few. I did. Keon
Haven't
does-
you done
Yeah.
graduation there before?
I feel like every 5 years they grab Dad to like
Yeah, it's about that.
to speak,
That's a good point.
and
It
I'm
is.
like, it's about time. So
It is
I don't know
getting
if
close.
I want. I don't know
It
if
is
I want
getting
him
close.
to speak.
You want to risk that?
It is getting close. Oh my God, I would tear her up.
I don't want to
It
be
would
there
be-
for that.
It would be like,
Is Lindsay here?
like it would be
He's
like a
looking around. She's not
PowerPoint
there.
presentation, like pictures
Where's
of
my
her.
kid?
This is what she looked like when she was born. Oh, she's so cute. Look at her now. Like, yeah, this is her first bath. You know, in
Yeah.
front of the whole audience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But this is when she didn't do so well the first time in college.
But we're
Yeah.
proud of her
She's
now.
doing it
Her
again.
GPA, her first. This is her first college report card. Oh, look at that! Horrible, right?
Look where she's come
What
from.
would you do if you were a dad?
Yeah. So
Well, we should do some ads, right? We got a lot of sponsors to talk about, and come on back. We got a show for you.
We appreciate all of our sponsors coming back.
Mm-hmm.
We did good. You
Most
know,
of them, and
Really?
then we got a new one.
The ones that didn't come back, you know,
Yeah, you'll
be
think
missed.
about it. We want you back eventually.
you'll be missed. Yeah.
Thank you to our new sponsor, MCR Partners. We're going to talk
Oh,
about that.
nice.
Yeah,
MCR
so-
partners. Love it. But, you know, I do want to say thank you to Power in Indiana for sponsoring our studio.
Power in Indiana
We used-
Studios.
We used to call it Smith Ursic Studios, but they didn't pay shit.
That lasted one episode,
Right?
I
Yeah,
think.
Smith Ursic Studios. Like, wait a second, we can get money for this.
Well, I think actually that may have been the genesis for the idea.
It was.
And then next thing you know, Power in Indiana. Steve
Yeah.
got an idea. You should get a commission from Steve.
I know.
Like,
should get a
Hey,
commission
Steve,
from
if it
Steve.
wasn't for me saying Smith
It's a
Music Studios,
solid-
you wouldn't have the
Okay,
idea.
Solid. It's a solid
okay.
commission he got off of this.
I think
I
you
mean,
guys
And
are
whose
fine.
idea was it?
Hall of Famer.
Yeah, the freaking
I love
locomotive.
calling you a Hall of Famer
Thank you.
now.
I like it. I like it.
Steve's probably off in Cancun right now.
Yeah,
No
Living on our
snow
With
for
my
Steve.
freaking bonus.
with
Yeah.
the commission.
Yeah. Well, you know what's funny? It's not funny. Like it's funny, but it's not funny. Kevin knows where I'm going to go with this. There was a lawsuit filed against the city over something that had nothing to do with Lockpod
Oh, God.
at all.
Nothing.
There's no like remote way you could connect Lockpod to this other lawsuit we were involved in, right? And yet there's like a whole count of the lawsuit
Yeah.
that talks in depth about Lockpod and this ridiculous like
Couldn't believe it.
this ridiculous angle, like we're running city government to try to steer people to Lockpod, and like
Oh, that's great.
it's like how did freaking Lockpod end
I
up?
have
That's
no
two separate lawsuits.
idea.
Two separate lawsuits Lockpod's been dragged into,
Yeah,
and
let's not make it three.
but it
We're
has
done.
like that's the funny thing is like I want to say something about Lockpod, and I could speak for me and Kevin both. Neither of us has made a penny for doing Lockpod. And Steve as well, and Lindsay. Actually, all four of us in here.
I have not seen $1.
In fact, by the way, you have Lockpod's ownership in this room. 100% of Lockpod is
Yes.
owned by the four of us, right?
yeah.
We've only paid money to be on Lockpod. True story, guys?
Yeah, I think.
True
yeah.
story.
Right?
Yeah,
We paid, and with the huge amount of time we put into it, and not a damn penny have we made.
Right. I mean, obviously, there's been income on our tax returns, but we haven't
Yes.
taken any, and we
Income-
paid taxes on money we haven't had in our
So, like, for
personal
instance-
account.
In fact,
We-
I'm paying taxes on income I haven't seen.
That's correct. That's exactly
Yeah.
right. That's a good way to put it.
This
Lynn.
is how it works. So Steve got a bonus for getting Power in Indiana. That was my idea, right? So the bonus, let's call Steve's bonus. Let's just say it's $1,000 just to make the math
Whatever it
easy,
is,
right?
sure.
So we take Steve's $1,000 bonus. And they say, okay, Steve, good job. You make this $1,000. Go on vacation.
Yep.
Now, Tom, Kevin, John, and Lindsay, you guys have to claim that $1,000 of income and pay higher taxes so that Steve could go on vacation. That's how it works, right?
Yeah.
Congratulations, Steve.
Right. So great job with the studio name, buddy.
Like you said, John, he's in Cancun probably right now,
Yes.
laying on the beach.
I went to Cancun over the break.
Really?
I did travel. Yeah.
Wow.
Yes, he did.
Look
It
at
was
you.
nice. It was nice. It was like, it was cloudy, but 70 the whole time, 73, 74. It was great.
That's nice. Get away from this snowy, sleety slushy Northwest
Well,
Indiana
it was
weather.
only raining at that point.
Hey, we got it wasn't really. It was windy, but it was like 70 something. I was wearing
Well,
shorts the
no,
whole
here
time.
it was only raining.
Yeah,
then,
yeah.
So he
When
wasn't
I left,
escaping
it-
any snow.
Right. When I left, it was 50.
Yeah,
You know, we're supposed to get like a foot of snow on Friday.
I'm excited.
Here?
Yeah,
Whoa.
yeah. We're getting tons. We're supposed to get
Wait, here
15
we're going to get a foot?
15 inches.
What?
In Northwest
Friday.
Indiana.
Yes. Marissa and
This
I
is
had
breaking.
Marissa
no,
and I had a
Cancun
discussion.
is getting 15
Yeah.
inches of snow. Come on.
Really?
Yes, I'm not kidding.
Whoa. I
15
did not know
inches of
that.
snow.
I had not heard this.
Well, this is Marissa and I may have had a
Wait a
misunderstanding this morning. I'm not bullshitting.
No,
Like,
and it's gonna.
this is
drop
actually
to
like an argument I had this morning.
breaking news in the weather. Oh,
You
From the
take
weather-
it in.
You
Hey.
Go, Linz.
it's gonna hit like -9, and we're gonna get 15 inches of snow, and it's gonna be
On which day?
awful
And-
on Friday through Sunday.
Now we see why Lindsay didn't go to broadcaster school. So
I really
man.
wanted to. I wasn't prepared. I was joking around.
she's like, "Holy shit, I'm taking it in."
Yeah, and
This-
Dad's like, "Keep going," and I was like, "I don't know."
This underscores why you don't want to go to your graduation.
Yeah, exactly.
But all right, let's go ahead and do some ads, and we'll come back, and we got a couple good stories. We got
we got
one.
some fun
It's
stuff.
a follow-up. George Santos. I counted how many times we've mentioned him.
How many?
8 separate times on Lockpod.
All
I
right.
did
This will be 9.
the Lockpod research
search.
last night.
That's good.
So we're going to do some George Santos.
He's been expelled from Congress since we were last in.
Yeah, and so, some updates I think you'll find amusing
I agree.
that pertains to Lockpod particularly.
Mhm.
And then we're going to come back in the third segment talking some James Snider.
And the U.S.
mayor,
Supreme Court.
the former mayor of Portage, appealed to the U.S. Supreme Court, and you would be shocked at the
What
results.
happened? All right.
So we got a little teaser. By the way, we're going to take this moment to remind you to follow Lockpod on Facebook Live if you want to watch us live, to follow Lockpod on Apple Pod, Spotify, all the other
YouTube.
stuff.
iHeartRadio.
YouTube, iHeartRadio, Twitcher,
Maybe.
Stitcher,
Put your
all that.
Stitcher.
Twitch-
TikTok.
TikTok, all that.
Yes.
We're on it all.
X.
X.
X, we're on it all. I'm not on X. I
Hey,
got,
you
I
know
got blocked.
one thing? I deleted Facebook over break. That was my New Year's
Whoa.
resolution.
What?
I thought you defriended me.
This is
No,
breaking.
I deleted Facebook
Done.
because it's just
You're
You're
done?
done.
I'm done.
Not cool enough?
You're not going back.
I don't think so. I kept it live just in case Grandma tries to reach out, but
Yes,
I
good
deleted
idea.
it off
I was
my phone.
literally
I
gonna-
deleted everything else. So,
Really?
Yeah.
How come?
The vibes were rancid. I guess.
All right.
They
Well,
are
I agree
rancid
with that.
vibes.
It is. It is.
I like how
sure.
you talk, by the way. The vibes are rancid.
They
I
were.
love
They're
that.
bad. But
It gives us a young, cool
Dude,
feel here at
that's
Lockpod.
badass.
What would we have? We wouldn't
Why?
have
Because the
LMP.
vibes are rancid, man.
Man.
Like, fuck yeah,
See?
dude. That's my daughter right there.
Now you're proud of
The
her.
vibes are
That's what I'm
rancid.
proud of you about.
Dude, because she sounds like the dude on
from
what is
that
it?
70s
The Big
show.
Lebowski?
No, the Big Lebowski. Because the vibes are rancid, man. I'm like, fuck yeah, that's my daughter right there. That's what I'm
That's my
talking
kid.
These are
about.
proud moments.
Yeah, you know,
guys are
honestly.
fascists, man.
That's like your opinion, man.
No, I was on the Hammond Facebook group and I was like, this is awful.
That's a mistake.
It is.
So
Yeah.
I
You don't-
deleted it. I was like, no, I don't want to do
Yeah,
this.
dude, you don't go to sites like that. Like,
No, I was in the Griffith one. Usually they're pretty well behaved, but that
No.
got weird too. So
everything's not well behaved. It's funny. I logged into one. I forgot what reason. It was like a rando, like Key West or something. Like what's going on in Key West?
Same.
Same shit.
Yeah.
Like, oh,
It's just
the
people
freaking
bitching.
politicians.
The mayor. This
It's
weather.
like,
this
no
weather
matter-
sucks.
It's like, hey, I want to log
why isn't he
into
plowing the streets?
what's going on in beautiful Portage, and everybody's like, fuck you. Like, it's like, Jesus, dude. I agree, Lindsay.
Every what's going on in blank in America
Right?
has the same 12
is.
people complaining.
right.
They're all in every group.
They're in every fuck. Yeah, you're right, Lindsay. The vibes are like totally rancid.
The
on,
vibes are rancid.
Yeah, I think-
Totally
man.
agree.
You're going to have to post that somewhere. The vibes. Maybe that's our show
That could
title.
be
The vibes
the
are
vibes
rancid.
are like rancid, man.
Speaking. So this is kind of funny. I ran into one of your haters, and I was starting to get into an argument with
Oh,
them.
don't do that.
And I know. I agree. I
I know where you're
engaged.
going with
I
this.
engaged.
Linda?
Yeah, and so instead of no, I'm not tell that yet. And
Oh,
so
that's a
instead
good
of, I said, and you said you hated the mayor, which I just take offense to. You shouldn't be saying that in public. She goes, I didn't say that I hated him. I called him a fascist. I was like, oh, sorry, I didn't listen.
Oh, sorry.
I didn't listen.
I
to that.
thought you hated fascists.
Yeah.
So
He's
That's
just
that.
He's a fascist
Yeah.
dictator.
I was like, oh, you don't hate him. He's just a fascist.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's do some ads. Come back.
Let's do
And
that.
we got a lot of stuff to talk about today. Season 11
Yep.
from Power in Indiana Studios.
Power in Indiana Studios. Thanks for everybody again for listening. Power in Indiana, Lake County, IBEW Local 697, and NECA proudly bring you Power in Indiana, Lake County. With over a century of experience, they've been safely wiring the region. From Powering corporations along the lakefront to lighting up homes across Lake County, Powering Indiana Lake County is your trusted source for electrical professionals. Join us as we continue to light the way for Northwest Indiana. Visit Powering Indiana Lake County at www.poweringindiana.org.
Here's a new sponsor, MCR Partners. Are you seeking expertise in economic development, finance, and planning? Look no further than MCR Partners, your go-to professionals for comprehensive solutions. Their dedicated team is ready to assess your opportunities and ensure the successful completion of your project. Discover the difference MCR Partners can make in navigating the intricacies of economic development. Stay informed and connected by visiting their website at mcrpartnersllc.com. For personalized assistance, reach out to Matt Reardon at 219-741-9511. And, of course, Matt Reardon's a friend of Lockpod, and we appreciate his sponsorship.
You know, I wonder what that personalized assistance means.
I think the only way you'll know is to call Matt Reardon
He's
at
gonna grab your hand
219-741-9511.
Help you dial the phone for it. Okay.
I would like that.
Yeah, that would be nice.
Matt Reardon, how about that?
Nice
Isn't that-
personalized touch.
By the way, I can't wait to bring him back on.
He's got to come back.
That's a lot of F words, though. You gotta.
That's all
prepare
right.
For
Yeah.
that.
He didn't put it in his ad. There were no F words in the ad.
That would be so funny.
If you want to...
All right. Byway Brewing, a family-friendly microbrewery, welcomes you to their spacious tap room and outdoor patio. Enjoy award-winning craft beer, a chef-driven menu, and craft draft cocktails. Their unique brewing equipment and production facility provides a perfect backdrop for private events, whether it's a bridal shower, reunion, or corporate party. With their new food truck, they can cater to your corporate and private events off-site. Customer service is our top priority at Byway Brewing. Just off 8094 at the Kennedy Avenue South exit. Discover more at bywaybrewing.beer.
This studio looks really good. Even the wall is exactly the same color.
Yeah, actually, that's an interesting story.
It's exactly the same.
So I haven't talked to my former landlord yet, but we asked Steve to get it shipped so we could take it and get it matched up at the paint store. And instead, he gouged out part of the drywall. And Steve and John and I were like,
"Good job, Steve."
Steve, and then he lost it, and then he had to go get another chip.
Another gouge. Yeah.
You know, honestly, I really
You shouldn't be saying
do.
this stuff on the air.
But thank you,
I love
Steve.
how
Actually,
Steve functions sometimes. You know, you give him a job and he'll do it.
he'll get it done.
yeah.
He'll do it.
I will say this: he ran out to that paint store right away and got it done. We had like a really
you,
short
Steve.
time period, so great
No,
job.
he
Steve.
is he's got a lot of gusto when it comes to getting things done. He just may approach it in a different way than most people.
Good
so.
point. That's a good way to put it.
Yep.
Lance.
University of Chicago, baby. Ku Klux Law. Are you?
I meant Steve Kellogg.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah. No, not Steve. Not that Steve.
I thought it was
Steve
Steve Sursick. My bad, Steve Sursick.
I would make Steve go get the paint.
I was wondering. Yeah.
No, it was our business manager, the guy in
Yeah,
Cancun,
my
making
bad.
all the money.
Yeah, that's true. The one that we were paying for.
Yes.
Ku Klux Law. Are you currently navigating complex legal challenges? Unsure of where to turn for guidance? Your search ends here with Ku Klux Law, your trusted partner for legal solutions in Indiana and in Illinois. Whether you're seeking expert representation for real estate transactions, need assistance in forming your business, or have experienced a personal injury at work or in a car crash, Ku Klux Law is here for you. No matter the nature of your legal issue, our team is ready to help. Call us today at 219-671-6347 to schedule your free consultation. Hablamos Español.
Speaking of our business manager, Steve Kellogg, he's going to actually have the folks from Ku Klux Law in the studio this season.
Looking forward to it.
Yes.
He's in
Figure
chat.
out how they can... when I figure out how they keep stealing all my personal injury cases.
You got a big
They're
nut
gonna
to pay
show
for
up
here.
and
Yeah, and
Kevin's
like, you
we've got beef.
Lock them
Kevin's
away.
like, I got to pay for this fucking office, man.
Rogers Roofing. When you demand nothing but the best for your home and family, trust the industry leader Rogers Roofing. For the past 54 years, they've been transforming homes in Northwest Indiana and Chicagoland. Their commitment to quality shines through in their roofing, siding, gutters, and windows, all backed by the most comprehensive warranties in the business. Visit their website at rogersroofing.com or call 219-933-9145 to schedule your free consultation and get on their spring schedule. That's rogersroofing.com, 219-933-9145. At Rogers Roofing, we expect nothing less than excellence every time. All right. Back to the Power in Indiana studios.
Let's go back to the Power in Indiana studios.
And we never left. We're still here.
All right. I mean, it was figurative.
All right, we want to
you.
start off our next segment with a little video clip to play special for our
Like
Lockpod.
right off, no intro?
No intro.
Just
You're not
play
gonna
You'll
intro
know.
it?
Just jump in.
This is a message from former Congressman George Santos to the Lockpod audience.
And secret
special
fan.
for you. Super fan. We tried to get him as a guest, but it didn't work out, but we got the next best thing. So let's go ahead and play it.
Hey, Lockpod, George Santos here. Just wanted to stop by to wish you guys congratulations on the success of your podcast. Indiana's most dangerous podcast with over 5 million unique downloads celebrating 30 seasons. That's why you guys are the #1 podcast in Europe, and you've received 2 Potties Award. Congratulations and keep up the hard work. Bye.
We won an award? 2?
Yeah.
I've never even heard of a potty, but we'll take it.
9
We'll
million
take that many
downloads?
different ways. 5 million downloads.
5
and
million?
Most popular in Europe.
Do you think that ever, that piqued his interest and he checked us out afterwards?
Yes.
Come on.
You think he
I think he
liked
just
us?
went on to the next one.
Yeah. I know.
Do you think he liked us?
No.
Oh,
He didn't
come
like
on.
us.
Dang.
He
I
cashed our
wish,
check.
I wish he'd come on.
We kissed our check.
Yeah,
I would
he
take
did.
him on.
He cashed
Oh,
it.
I'd love to have him on.
Yeah.
I'd love to have him on. Talk about Congress. Talk about all the exciting things he experienced.
He looks pretty good for everything he's going
He's
through.
glowing, man.
Yeah.
I'm not even
His-
kidding.
I need his skincare routine.
Yeah, it's
He
nice.
does have really nice skin. I was thinking that. He's very
Dad was like, wow.
Boy, that guy's
beautiful
skin.
face.
It's makeup. He's wearing makeup
For
right?
sure.
He
Oh,
is,
for
right?
sure. Yeah,
Oh,
easy.
yeah.
Okay, so like a base.
Probably
Right?
like a base with like a setting powder on top. to
Whoever
kinda
does his
smooth it.
eyebrows does
His
a great
eyebrows
job.
are freaking banging, dude. And like those
Jesus.
lips, look at those
Okay,
lips.
chill, Dad.
No, I'm saying I didn't realize how effeminate he was. He's very effeminate, right?
Is he gay?
Yes.
I have no idea.
He
I
is.
thought he
Is he?
was gay.
He's
Totally gay.
openly gay. Yes.
Openly
Yes,
gay.
totally
all right.
gay, yeah.
Oh, that's right. First openly gay Republican member of Congress. I think
really?
I remember
Correct.
hearing that. Yeah.
He's famous.
He's famous.
in a lot of ways.
He's famous and he's infamous.
I didn't realize. I mean, like the way I'm just being newsworthy. I didn't realize he was very effeminate the way he speaks and all that. I didn't realize that.
I mean,
There's
he's,
nothing wrong with. I'm just talking.
Well, he's no
It's
longer
true.
a member of Congress.
He's making money on Cameo though.
He's making bank on Cameo.
Did you? I thought I saw something in the notes about that.
It is.
He's in
Listen
the
to
six
this.
George
figures.
Santos is living his best life. The disgraced Congress member from New York, who recently made history by becoming the first House member to be ejected by his colleagues without a criminal conviction, says he has found a new and better source of revenue, making personalized videos on Cameo for $500 a piece. I will have made more money in just 7 days than I would have made in an entire year in Congress,
Wow.
Santos told CB News recently.
Thank you for
Do
kicking
you
me out.
believe him? Do you believe
I
him?
don't
No,
believe
that's
him.
the question.
I don't believe him because you got to figure. Okay,
Okay, congressional salary is $1.75, right?
I don't know. Is
Right
it about
in that
that?
ballpark,
Okay,
right.
So first of all, you got to figure that Cameo gets a cut. What that
Yeah.
cut is, I have no idea.
Yeah.
30%.
Right.
So you're paying $500. I think Steve got it for $400, but $500. What's Cameo getting, John? 40, like you said,
Probably
40,
30% or
30 or
something,
40%. So 150, let's say. So
George is up there with the best launches that we've ever had. Steven Galanis, co-founder and CEO of Cameo, told Fortune. His first day on Cameo was right up there with Bon Jovi or Sarah Jessica Parker.
oh wow, I wonder who else who are the big ones here. Oh, here it goes. Brett Favre, Chuck Norris, Ice-T,
Yeah.
reality TV stars from The Real Housewives, Survivor.
Since joining the platform, Santos has raised his rates from $75 per video to $500 per video,
Oh.
which usually clock in from 30 seconds to a minute long, and has told Semaphore that his Cameo income already dwarfs his $174,000 congressional salary.
Wow. So Steve got in kind of like towards the end, but not totally towards the end. We
Yeah, he
it
got
at
us at the
$400.
$500. Oh, $400.
Well,
But,
when we first started talking about it, was 300, and then
Right.
he cranked it up to 400.
Oh, wow.
We got in, and then he went up to 500.
Nice.
Dude,
because
we
All
saved
right,
$100.
saved $100. There you go.
Good
I'll
job,
take
Steve.
it. Thank
Yeah.
you, Steve.
the more popular he got, the higher it cost.
It's a business expense.
But, and Santos says that he's raised more on Cameo than his congressional salary, but Santos is also a proven liar, right? I mean,
Literally everything.
Yeah, I was gonna
literally,
say,
like
how do
he
you
was
believe-
expelled because he's a liar. So,
Basically.
I'm going to say he's full of shit.
I don't know if you're living your best life when you're sitting under a
He
federal
looks pretty
indictment either.
happy.
Yeah.
does
He's
look happy.
glowing, man.
He's got a trial. He's got a plea agreement
He's like,
potentially.
hey,
got a
Lockpod, what's
federal-
up, Lockpod?
Yeah, John, play that. Can you get that again? The little intro.
I mean, we
He's so
paid
happy.
$500 for this shit. Let's
Let's
watch
play
it
it twice.
right?
Here we go. He is happy.
Hey, Lockpod, George Santos here. Just wanted to stop by.
Right?
Hey, Lockpod, George Santos here. Just
Hey,
wanted to stop
Lockpod.
I like
by
when he
to
says
wish
potty.
You guys congratulations on the success of your podcast. Indiana's most dangerous podcast with over 5 million unique downloads celebrating 30 seasons.
He's lying.
That's why you guys are the #1 podcast in Europe, and
that's
you
true.
received 2 Potties Award.
Not in
Congratulations, and keep up the hard work.
We're
Bye.
the #1
Thank you,
podcast
George.
in Belgium.
He
Well,
looks
All of Europe.
Hey, Lock.
he looks cute. Like he does look like. I'm telling you, he looks like he's happy.
Yeah, he does.
He
He's
looks
not- I mean, you-
relieved to not be in Congress anymore.
That I would agree with. Yeah, he's probably just done with all the
He's a
press
ce-
and
he-
everybody
and-
on you.
And he's a celebrity. Let's
He's a
face it,
celebrity,
right?
yeah.
So, like, how many people across America are like us and want him to do a quick $500?
Sure,
video?
thousands.
Right.
And then that's a really good point. So if 1,000 people did it, that'd be $500,000,
Dwarfs' congressional salary.
Sure.
Even after Cameo takes their
and that's only
30%.
1,000 people.
Right. 500.
Good point. To be like 350 probably, right?
1,000 people. Now, how long is this? Is this sustainable? Like,
No.
Right. He's
It's
gonna
like
be
it's off the cliff.
right.
Oh,
so
yeah.
this year, unless he like does
He's
something
done.
crazy, he has to do some stupid shit to
Yeah.
like keep that going.
You might have a couple here and there, but it's not like the first couple weeks.
Like, if I was Santos, I would like go streaking through Central Park and then have people take a picture, then go right to Cameo again.
right.
You gotta like milk this one first, though. Let it go. Let it go.
Hey, Lockpod, I just got out of being naked in Central Park.
Oh damn! Former congressional member found naked in Central Park. Boom.
Do
Go
that.
back on Cameo.
I
Probably
mean,
have to relax it to $300. So
I know the article said he's living his best life, but I don't think anybody's living their best life when they're under.
look at that face.
I know, but I
Look
mean,
at that face.
He's going to
He's-
go to jail.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, he's going to go to federal
That
prison.
is true, by the way, and this is another thing that we did for him. We helped him with the legal defense fund.
Yeah, I'm sure that
Everybody deserves a strong defense.
$500.
It's an American right.
It is an American
It's
right.
enshrined in the
Lindsay.
Constitution. If I had my pocket
Innocent
Constitution,
until proven guilty.
I could pull it out
Innocent
here.
until proven guilty. That's right, Lindsay.
Well, that's our ad for the day. We've got George Santos.
Yep.
That was really good. By the way, thank you, Steve Kellogg, for getting that done over break. That was really cool.
It was fun.
All right, let's go ahead and do some ads, and we'll come back and we'll talk some James Snider. And the reason you're going to want to hang on is this is a local case that's going to the United States Supreme Court, and it has ramifications across the country. It has ramifications in the city of Chicago with the corruption trial
Already,
they have.
yeah.
So hang out with us so we can explain a little bit. This is if you want to learn a little bit about how cases get to the U.S. Supreme Court and the ramifications of that, stick around.
This
Don't they
isn't-
have a Schoolhouse Rock song about that? How
I'm not
cases
sure.
get to the
No, you're
Supreme
thinking about a
Court?
bill.
Oh,
Yeah.
the bill.
You're
yeah.
only a bill.
A bill from Capitol Hill. Right, that one. Misprint
Wants to be
printing.
a law.
Elevate your brand with Misprint, the premier printing and sign solution in Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana. With a 30-year legacy of excellence, their experienced team, led by Rick Baltensberger, combines innovation and technology to deliver top-quality signs and printing, always on time, always within budget. Visit them at misprintusa.com to bring your vision to life today. Misprint, your partner for creating impactful visual solutions. And thank you, Misprint, for doing our Powering Indiana studio sign. Really cool.
Very cool.
Very neat.
Nice job, Rick.
Probably one of the best things we've done on Lockpod in years.
Without a doubt.
All right. Calumet Brewing. It's time to experience Michelob Ultra with only 95 calories, 2 carbs, and 4.2 alcohol by volume percent. The perfect way to start 2024 and keep those resolutions in check. It doesn't matter if you're kicking back after a workout, hitting a pickup game at the park, or heading out to a day on the slopes. Be sure to enjoy a superior light beer that's only worth it if you enjoy it. Michelob Ultra is brewed to be a complement to your healthy lifestyle. Head over to Cal Brew or the Michelob Ultra websites and social media pages for details on this great family of beers. Enjoy the Ultra lifestyle with beers and cheers responsibly.
Woohoo!
Woohoo!
Pressmer Insurance Company. For decades, the Ron J. Pressmer Insurance Agency has been your trusted neighbor. Right on Indianapolis Boulevard, serving all your insurance needs. Their wide range of insurance products and services, including auto, home, business, and life insurance, have helped over 1,000 individuals and businesses throughout Chicagoland and the Midwest. Call Ron or Ronnie today at 219-844-0103. They're here to protect what matters most to you.
Tortillas Nuevo Leon sets the gold standard in Mexican cuisine across the Midwest. Look for our iconic red and white label at your local grocery store. Indulge in the finest Mexican products, crafted with local expertise, and savor the taste of authenticity. Discover the flavors of Tortillas Nuevo Leon today.
Tortillas Nuevo León, hechas con amor, para ti y tu familia de todo corazón. Tortillas Nuevo León, hechas con amor, para ti y tu familia de todo corazón.
All right, Lindsay's jamming out to
Yes,
you. Like
she
that
is.
I
there.
have so much space to move my arms around.
I know, right?
You're not gonna hit the door.
You could
Yeah.
actually stand up and dance in
I
here.
could actually do some a little jig.
Some new moves.
Yeah.
All
We'll
right,
see.
we got to get some stuff in the background too.
Hey, I wanted
show
It looks
you.
kind of boring behind me.
It does actually. I wanted to thank the 70 live viewers that are watching the show live.
What?
That's really cool, man.
Is that true? I
That
don't
makes
get the
me-
number anymore.
No, you have to
They
hit the screen
missed
for me.
us.
Oh, I can't get it.
I
Even
love
if I
it.
hit the
I love it.
screen.
I appreciate it. It's really cool.
That is awesome.
We've
Thank
been
you,
off. We've
live
been off
viewers.
for a while. You know, sometimes when we come back, we don't get a huge live audience. We always get about the same number of listens on Apple Pod and everything, but on the live, sometimes we suffer when we go off the air. And to come back on and see a big audience right off the bat, it's really cool.
Can I tell a funny story that happened over break about one of our sponsors?
Please.
Yes, this is actually pretty
I was
Hopefully
going
funny.
to
it's
say
embarrassing.
no, but
A couple things. So one,
That'd be funny. No.
no. Moving
No,
on.
we're moving on. We got a script, dude.
so one of the things that happened over break was the locomotive here, along with Chairman Jim Weezer, hosted this unbelievable breakfast, which is called Big Dem Breakfast, where Lake County Democrats.
Dem breakfast.
Right. And so it was really a great idea. And Tom will tell you the story about how he thought of this idea and sold it to our chairman, Jim Weezer, in a second. But it was at Byway. And Tom has talked up Byway's breakfast for I don't know how long.
On this show, we talk about it a lot.
Right.
It's our sponsor.
Even though they're not open for breakfast.
Right.
But they hosted this breakfast. They opened up because, for this event. And had breakfast. And by the way, I had never had the Byway breakfast. It is unbelievable.
Unfreaking real. The waffles.
The waffles are crazy.
They have like a sugar coating on them.
Something's in them.
Yeah.
It's like magic.
It is
There's
so
something
good.
magic in them. So they were so good that when
crack.
I got home, I noticed that I had syrup all down my shirt. I was like, what a fat piece of shit I am.
You got really into it.
I was like,
There's
what?
the title. Fat piece of
What a fat
I was
piece
like,
of
you got to be
shit.
kidding me.
That's
I
a
have
great
syrup down my
That'd be one of the best listened to episodes ever. What's your favorite episode? Kevin saying what a fat piece of shit he is.
That wasn't even.
It's a classic.
So that wasn't even the funny part of the story. The funny part of the story was one of the people that came up for this. This was so well attended. There were hundreds of people there. Mayor Eddie Melton was the speaker. Tom was the host. Chairman Weezer was the co-host. Joe Hogsett came up.
Yeah.
And he said to the mayor, he goes, not only did I want to come up here to see all these Democrats, Mayor Tom, but I wanted to see Byway Brewery, one of
He
Lockpod's
did
greatest
say that.
sponsors.
I know. He
was
did
like,
say that. Isn't
see?
that crazy?
I know.
When he was driving down the street, one of the times Hogsett comes on the air, he comes walking in here. He's like, "Hey man, I saw Misprint Studios.
I saw Misprint Printing.
It's like, holy shit!
Rick Baltonsberger and
It's
Misprint
like the region
Printing.
is.
Yeah,
It's awesome
so
to see
cool.
Mayor Hogsett come
It
up.
was.
Though it's really cool to host an event, and the mayor of Indianapolis drives up for it too. by
Very
the way.
cool.
I love that. Yeah.
Kudos to you.
Super neat.
Thanks. It was great. Kevin did a lot of the behind the scenes though. Let's be honest.
It's all right.
That's what
But
Kevin
it's
okay.
does.
We
Kevin's
did. We
good
had.
at it.
It's a cool ass name too, right? Big Dem Breakfast.
I love it.
Big Dem.
We stole it
breakfast.
from the party.
Yeah, they use Big Dem
Weekend.
weekend.
Big
Yeah.
Dem weekend. And that's when we go to French Lake.
It sounds like big dick energy.
Yeah.
That's what it sounds like
What?
you're starting to say, and then you're
What?
like,
Big Dem.
damn it.
I thought it
breakfast.
sounded. I think you said it to me. You said it sounds like Big Damn Breakfast, but it's
It
Big
does
Damn
sound like
Breakfast.
that too.
Well, that's what we wanted. I mean, I didn't think about the big dick energy part.
I didn't either, Lindsay. Apparently,
That's
you
not
do.
the first thing that comes
Hey,
to my
man.
mind.
Lindsay's like, yeah, it sounds like Big Dick
I'm
Yeah.
energy.
like,
That's the energy I bring to everything.
Wow, Lindsay. I don't even
Dude,
want to go
Lindsay
there. I'm not
brings
even
the
going
big
there.
dick energy.
I
here.
am not going there.
That's how I roll into the studio.
What's your daughter thinking about, man?
I know, dude. What
Big
the
dick
fuck is going on
A little
here?
bit of everything, guys. It's okay.
Can we make that somehow turn into Powering America Energy? Big Dick Energy?
Isn't it Powering Indiana Lake County?
Powering
Isn't
Indiana Lake
that
County.
the-
I'm sorry. Powering
Yeah.
Indiana Lake County. I got to keep saying that.
Why?
think we
Because
gotta
is
get
there
that
like
right.
a
Yeah.
a Porter County one? or-
No, there's some sort of, I don't want to say
Jasper
copyright
County?
or
We're gonna get
trademark
fucking sued
or-
again.
I know. But
You like saying the wrong shit. We get sued.
Powering Indiana Lake County.
studios.
Powering Indiana.
Rolls
Jasper
off the
County.
tongue. I love it. It's got a badass sign now.
All you have
Let's
to
be
do is
honest.
look to look over here, and we'll remember what to say.
Dude, we should get more signs. These are freaking
We're
awesome.
working on it.
Like a sign with me, like boom, right here. Just remind people
Right
what
by
I
the
look like.
bookshelf.
Yeah, right next to
Just
you.
like right above.
Maybe like your Hall of Fame medal.
Ah,
We'll put it up
oh, that's definitely coming
right
to the
over,
studio.
like right above you.
You know that's coming to the studio. It's
And you
gonna-
remind us
I'm gonna
every day?
They'll just like clink it every once in a while, like tink.
And you'd be like, you're
see?
on a podcast with a Hall of Famer.
I
You
am
know
a Hall
that,
of Famer.
right?
Dude, there's not many Hall of Famers you know.
You could just
Kevin.
start
Do
calling
you know
it-
how many Hall of Famers you know?
Well,
Besides
Hammond Sports
moi.
Hall of Fame. I know some.
Okay,
Like your
all right.
dad.
Yeah. Oh
Yeah,
my
Papa's
god, that
in
was
the
my
Civic
dad
Center
in the
Hall
Hammond
of
Sports
Fame.
Hall of Fame. Come on.
Yeah,
I
he
called that
is.
shit out at the time too. I'm like, come on, man. Yeah.
It's like I helped bring it here.
Yeah, that's true.
So.
All right. Hey, there's a local case. We've talked about it a couple times on Lockpod with the former mayor of Portage, 2 mayors ago, actually, now. We have the current mayor, Mayor Austin, and then we had the mayor before that, Mayor Sue. Before Mayor Sue, there was Mayor Cannon, and before Mayor Cannon, there was Mayor
You've got
James.
A great memory.
Yeah,
on mayors.
I know the mayors. But so Mayor James was indicted while he was in office, ultimately convicted of pay-to-play kind of stuff.
Well, I think there's 2 parts of his indictment, I believe, and Mayor Snider was a Republican mayor in Portage. He had kind of a side business, it was like a mortgage.
He did.
Business, and then so he had tax charges.
I think there was a consulting kind of thing, like mortgage.
Yeah, but there was I don't want to call it check kiting, but there was some kind of kiting or some sort of transfer of money to try to avoid taxes.
I followed that. He was changing LLCs, taking money from one, moving it to the other, and then leaving the liability at the previous LLC. But he was just moving money around, allegedly. I mean, this is all stuff that was
litigated or whatever.
This is what the government was saying.
Alleged, yeah.
Right,
and so, but I think he was convicted of that. And
he was.
I guess what I would say at the outset is...
So he got the tax and he also had the corruption.
Yeah, I was going to say at the outset that that had nothing to do with his public office. It was his private business, tax issues. He was convicted of that.
And by the way, even if once they get to the U.S. Supreme Court, that tax issue is still looming.
I agree with you.
That tax issue ain't going away.
I don't think it's going away.
Right. No, the issue at hand... The issue that's ultimately going to be decided by the United States Supreme Court, not the Indiana Supreme Court. The U.S. Supreme Court is an issue that involved, allegedly, this is according to the government, Mayor Snider was heavily involved in the bid specs so that somebody that he was working for privately would ultimately win the bid for a garbage truck, I believe. And it was $1 million truck. So he literally changed the specs, allegedly, according to the government, so that this company would win the bid, and at the same time, he had a $13,000 contract with them for
a consulting contract for healthcare or something.
And by the way, once the government asked him to produce documents that showed what the work he did for the $13,000, he could prove there was nothing that proved that he worked. It was all verbal, allegedly.
Yeah, I mean, and remember, I know you're saying allegedly, but he was convicted. So 2 juries convicted him. There was a trial, and this is how crazy this is that this goes back years.
Yeah.
Right?
John Bunchitz is trying to get out of prison right now. They were indicted on the same day. John Bunchitz has been in prison 6 years.
Maybe, I think more. But.
Right. He's almost halfway done with the sentence.
So what happened here was he was tried, convicted. It went up to the 7th Circuit. So just real basic stuff here, but maybe just in case if you need, for just our viewer or listeners' information. So you start at district court, right? Federal court has a trial court. It's called the United States District Court. There's one in Hammond. There's several courts in Hammond.
94 of
right?
them in America.
There you go. Thank you. Then it goes up to the 7th Circuit Court of Appeals. The United States is into 12 circuits, something like that, 14 circuits. And so he appeals it up to the 7th Circuit. The government has to retry him on certain counts. He gets convicted again.
Right.
And then he brings it up to the 7th Circuit again. And then after that, he files what's called a petition for writ of certiorari to the United States Supreme Court. Supreme Court doesn't take every case.
Less than 1%.
Oh, yeah. They
Way
get
less than 1%.
Thousands of petitions, what are
they
called
only
petitions
take
every year.
15 to 20 or something out of thousands that are appealed to them.
Yeah,
so the odds of getting chosen by the U.S. Supreme Court are very low.
In fact, Judge Connolly, who was the district court judge who tried the case down from Illinois, from Chicago, he came down to Hammond to try the case. He even said when he allowed Mayor Snider to stay out on appeal, he was out on bond on appeal, he said, this is a long shot.
Right. He said, we're not going to make you go to jail now because you're literally facing your sentence. We're not going to make you go to prison because you do have a petition with the U.S. Supreme Court. But he literally said
it's a long shot.
Less than 1% of all these get granted. But Snider's lawyers were pointing out how the circuits were split on this issue, whether or not you could get a gratuity. Basically, they're saying, can a supporter of the mayor give him $13,000 as a gratuity? I mean, something along those lines, Kevin.
Yeah, it's how to interpret the word gratuity within the criminal statute. And I think this is, and so when Mayor Tom just talked about a conflict in the circuits, as I talked about a little bit ago, there's 12 or 14 circuits. I wish I could remember the right number. Those are the Court of Appeals. And when they conflict, because each circuit can write an opinion that may conflict with another circuit, right? We're in the 7th Circuit. That's Illinois, Indiana, and Wisconsin. You can have conflicting circuits opinion, and that sometimes is what makes the Supreme Court take a case because they want to clarify it for everyone.
Right.
Like, here's where we fall.
So in the Seventh Circuit, they could look at gratuities one way, and then you could be on the West Coast in the Ninth Circuit, and they look at gratuities another way, so that a mayor in California gets treated differently than a mayor in Indiana would. That's when the U.S. Supreme Court wants to resolve that because everybody's supposed to be treated equally, right?
Yeah, well, they want, and a lot of times it's just to clarify the law for all the circuits. So as you know, we've all learned this in civics class or government class. The United States Supreme Court is the law of the land. So when they speak, it's the law. The circuits have to follow it, right? That's called precedent, and you have to follow it. So when the United States Supreme Court comes down on the Snider case, that's going to be the interpretation, the law of the land as it relates to the word gratuity in bribery cases.
So literally, Snider versus United States of America is going to be a case that's decided by the U.S. Supreme Court, read probably by law students. It's going to be important one way or another. They could come out and say anything that an elected official gets needs to be reported, which is probably, I mean, that's how I approach it. Lindsay's my treasurer.
Yeah.
People give us, let me tell you stuff, like the kind of stuff I get from people if I go to the wheel by myself, okay, and I'm eating breakfast. Sometimes owners will pick up the meal. In fact, just the other day I was someplace and I was at John L's by myself. I had breakfast. I walk out of John L's and they were like, "Thank you, Mayor," and they just like crumble up the thing. And then usually I'll throw a $5 bill on the table for the
Sure.
waiter or waitress, right? But you get like small little things as mayor. Like I'll get a free cup of coffee sometimes if I go to Dunkin' Donuts, right? Small little things like that. Never once have I had $13,000. Here you go, Mayor, $13,000. It's like, what the? If somebody gave us $13,000, I know exactly how Lindsay would approach that. Yeah. We would report that.
I would report that.
Yeah,
immediately.
Absolutely. It's $13,000. That's the kind of money you get in trouble for,
That
obviously.
is a terrifyingly large donation that I do. That makes me nervous.
We've had people probably.
I'm like so extra cautious about anything like that.
We've had people donate probably over a year.
Over a year.
Maybe
I mean,
like during a heavy election year, they get up
like
to that level.
$4,000 to $5,000. They might get a little bit higher than
But
that.
one
depending.
person?
But one person, no, very rarely.
And I think that's the difference here is I don't think it's a campaign finance issue here, though. This is all about whether he took a bribe.
I know,
it's
but
under
like,
the bribery statute.
so let's say he took that $13,000 and just reported it.
Right.
He would have been fine. This whole thing would have gone away.
I don't know. I wonder about that and that's the whole thing about the interpretation of gratuity. Because it's like, okay, you were supposed to, it's whether or not you're supposed to do work for something or whether this was done in like, oh, we thanked you we just
If
want to
somebody gave me
contribute to your campaign.
$13,000, I'd give it to Lindsay and we'd report it.
Sure, as a donation though,
Right.
but this was not
But
as
if
a
you were like-
donation. This was an expectation of work.
Right. So this is like.
So that would be like an in-kind?
Not.
I mean, it's totally independent.
Yeah,
but you better
exactly.
have work product. You
Right.
better be able to show emails, meetings attended. You better be able to show I did work for that $13,000, right? So if you're challenged by the government and they say, "What did you do for this money?" We think that it was a bribe. And you're like, "No, it wasn't a bribe, Mr. Federal Officer. Here is the contracts that I made. Here are the emails that we sent back and forth. These are all the meetings I attended. This is why I made the $13,000." So if you're challenged, you could produce work product, right? To cover your ass.
I
Shit.
would think.
If you're challenged,
Cover
you
your
got-
ass to do what you were told to do.
But like, or the government's right and it is a bribe.
That's
So
right.
like,
And
if they're like, "We think it's a bribe, prove to us that it's not," and you better fucking be able to prove it, or else you're going down.
Yep.
So like,
I'm sure it's very interesting to the government as well because I know I'm sure their interpretation that they want is like whatever the number of circuits is, and then Snider's like, "Oh no, but look at these circuits. They look at it differently." And the definition of it, I think, is payments in recognition of actions the official has already taken or committed to take, where the official did not agree to take these actions in exchange for payment. So that's what's going to be interpreted by the 9 people that are on the U.S. Supreme Court.
I don't know. I'm trying to think.
It's already.
Have you
had
ever seen a case go to the U.S.
ramifications.
Supreme Court?
So I had a case that that the other people filed a petition for writ of certiorari in the Supreme Court, and we had to file a brief in opposition to it, and the
And it
Supreme Court
wasn't
didn't take
accepted.
it.
Right.
The scary thing about, and we didn't want it to be taken.
Hell no. You're
No,
like,
I was
shit.
like, well, I was like, no, because we were on the winning side. And so
I
the
gotcha.
weird thing was, there's this thing called the Supreme Court Reporter, and they kept calling me over the weekend. I remember because of my brother's wedding weekend, and they were like, "Hey, there's a pretty good chance this is going to get taken." And I was like, "What? No." They're like, "We need comment." And I was like, let's wait. And it didn't get taken. Thank goodness. So,
Well, the interesting thing about this, and we're going to wrap this up, and because we're getting close to the end, but now the ramifications that Snider's case being taken up is having ramifications on corruption, federal corruption trials across the country, involving in right here in our own backyard in the city of Chicago. We have Michael Madigan's case that's going forward. And Michael Madigan was the former Speaker of the Chicago House.
Or the Illinois State House. Illinois
leader of the Democratic Party.
Mm-hmm.
Like any legislation that got passed in Illinois had to go through him. He is being accused of corruption. I think it involved Commonwealth Edison and like no show jobs and things of that nature. His trial was continued because of this issue. Is that true, Kevin?
Yeah, his lawyers requested to the U.S. District Court judge in Chicago, and the motion was granted to continue the trial until they see what the outcome of the Snider case is. They specifically cited to it and said, look, this case could have significant impact on some of the charges that the government has brought against Madigan, and so we'd ask for a continuance. Judge granted it. So you could see that this case is definitely kind of piqued the interest of a lot of federal criminal attorneys and I'm sure U.S. attorneys to find out what's going to happen.
I have a hard time believing that the U.S. Supreme Court's going to come out and make it easier on elected officials like Michael Madigan, former elected officials like James Snider. I have a hard time believing the U.S. Supreme Court's going to say, yeah, you could go ahead and take gratuities like that. I have a hard time believing they're going to make it easy to commit corrupt crimes.
I think it's interesting, though, because what they could do is they could say that and I don't disagree with you, by the way, but I'm just like taking the other side here. They could say, you know what, the statute's vague. It doesn't, and then they send it back to Congress, and Congress would have to
But that means that
statute.
Michael Madigan would walk in certain cases. That means James Snider would walk outside of his tax problems, right? But that would be, you would have elected officials accused of corrupt federal crimes
under this statute
walking on a technicality. I don't see the U.S. Supreme Court doing that. I just don't.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see what they do.
I just don't. Personally, I think the U.S. Supreme Court's going to confirm, they're going to come down on the side of the federal prosecutors. That's what I think. Because I don't think that the U.S. Supreme Court wants to make it easier to commit corrupt crimes.
Yeah, and I haven't read the brief obviously yet, but I'm going to, and we'll follow it along.
So James Snider's case is important.
Yeah, I think it's important across the country, and I think it'll
crazy,
be very interesting.
And I mean, I know Mayor Snider. I knew Mayor Snider. I know him. We still communicate here and there. I know he listens to Lockpod, by the way. And if he is, hey Mayor, how's it going?
It's
this
an interesting case.
I've never seen a case go to the U.S. Supreme Court, especially for somebody I know. That's why my job is very, very awesome, because it keeps you on your toes. You see stuff all the time that you would never be part of if you weren't mayor, and I know you get that experience being corporate counsel.
It's very interesting, and we're going to follow it. And I'm actually very interested in reading the brief, so we'll keep you updated.
I want to say thank you to our audience. The live audience stuck with us the whole show, like a good number of people. Like, wow. By the way, that is really cool, man. Like when you're gone for a long time, sometimes I'm sure it passes through your guys' head. You know, does anybody even care if we come back? Does anybody even listen? And to come back and see a huge live audience and a good response on the first show makes me happy. So thank you to the Lockpodders across the world.
Just listen to George Santos, most popular podcast in Europe.
The world.
From Powering Indiana Lake County Studios.
And by the way, Notorious LMP comes in and brings it. She brought that big dick energy.
She did.
Today.
I did.
Oh, God.
BDE.
Just that.
She's the one that freaking
father-daughter really. I love that father.
She's the one that brought the whole thing into it.
Hey,
but like,
man.
You did bring it today, Lindsay.
I brought that energy, and I left Facebook because the vibes were off. They were rancid. So
rancid
totally
vibes,
rancid,
dude.
Rancid vibes, bro.
Jay Vez.
Hey.
Thank you, man.
Yeah.
Great job, John. Really.
You
Good
could
work,
put this.
bud.
You could put this shit on your resume, dude.
I think
Transferred studio.
How'd you know he was looking for a new job?
I mean, I'm just saying. I figured. I mean, it is a tough job market out there.
I mean, it is crazy, John. Literally, I mean, thank you for getting this together. But it's easy to just say, "Oh, just come sit down and flip on the switch," and it's going to work.
How many hours, dude, did it take you?
I don't know.
He doesn't want to think about
Over
it. It's
10?
a bad dream.
Yeah.
Over 20?
To move this here?
Yeah. Get everything set up.
Probably around that. Yeah.
Okay.
Damn.
Whatever. 20 hours for our audience. It's not bad. I mean, there's a lot of people, that really
looks
appreciate
good.
your work. It does look good.
This is when John can make the sign red because he's getting pissed.
No, I was just thinking, like, no one would ever know we were in a different
I agree.
studio unless
Other
we
than
mentioned
this.
it. Because
That's a good
everything's
point.
exactly
It looks
the same.
exactly.
That's a good point.
Other than we lost our.
Who said we're in a new studio? Maybe we're not.
Shit. You know what? Our pile can't cover that.
Exactly. That's what I'm
wow.
saying. We're down here, brother.
Yeah, no kidding.
And up here,
we're gonna
we're
need
like-
shelves. Hey, we got to get on those shelves. I'm sure we'll get them done this year.
How come purple looks blue from here? I'm
Who
trying to do
knows?
some
I think
colors.
it's the paint, maybe? The
Oh,
wall?
I did pink and it's white. I don't understand. Oh, well, that's okay.
All right. I just want to say thanks to everybody. Kevin Smith, great to see.
sir.
Great to be back. thank you for hosting us and paying us, and charging us reasonable rent. And congratulations on your very reasonable, like close to zero. And thank you and congrats on your
Thank you.
Close to zero.
very close. But like this is a great office, man.
Thank you, man. Yeah, we're excited.
I'm glad you're not paying rent anymore.
Thank you. I am too. I took your lead because you've told me for a long time, and you've been really good with real estate, that it's better to own. So thank you for
Kevin. When he started his law firm 10 years ago, you didn't have the choice, the luxury of shopping around for commercial real estate. You had to get something like the next day,
real quick. Yeah, and I'll tell you this. I remember this. I really do, and I'm not trying to be like over complimentary, but it's true. And you said to me and Steve, you said, "You guys, you're going to work hard. You're going to be successful, and I'm always going to be one of your clients, and I want you to know that." So
little did we
that.
know I'd still
Thank
be
you.
here as
Yeah.
freaking mayor.
Thank you for all your support.
Because, by the way, that happened years into our administration, a couple of terms in when your firm broke up.
Yep.
And
9
you
years.
started
Halfway.
I know. So here we are.
Here we are. Thank you.
Smith Sursick. Go to Smith Sursick. Even though they don't sponsor
And
our show.
Kuklakis Law.
Even though Smith Sursick doesn't sponsor our show, it's still a damn good law firm. led by Kevin.
Led by Steve Sursick.
Steve Sursick, University of Chicago. God, last night at the council meeting, I blanked on Carolyn Jackson's name.
Yeah, that was crazy. I was like,
it was weird because I added,
moment.
because I was thinking of like three things at once, and I was talking. So I was reading, and my brain was like moving places, and I was ad-libbing that whole part about Carolyn Jackson and
We all know
swearing
Rick
in.
Jackson.
And I was like, I just blanked on her. I was like looking at her face, and my mind wasn't working. I was like, ugh. So anyway, thanks for listening to Lockpod, everybody.
Yeah.
We appreciate you. Season 11's back on. We'll be back on Friday as normal. Thanks for listening, everybody. Have a nice day. Be nice to people, and we love you. Take care, everybody.